All right, everybody. I'm a little late to the party on this one. I know. I know this was announced earlier this morning. I was busy. Couldn't make a video this morning. Couldn't make a video earlier this afternoon. So I'm a little bit late. Can't even really call this breaking news anymore because if you follow this team in any extended capacity beyond just watching the game, you probably already know. But yeah, we've gotten some bad news. And this is not what we needed to see this morning. Per Mike Garofalo and many other sources, the Seahawks are expected to place edge rusher Uchenna Nwosu on injured reserve with the thigh injury suffered against the Giants. So, just to recap here, Uchenna Nwosu gets hurt last year, misses most of the season, comes back for a preseason game, plays, 4 plays, and then gets hurt again and misses the next 4 games. And then he comes back for one game, about 20 plays, gets hurt again, and is now going to miss another at least 4 games. Now, the injury he suffered in the preseason against the Browns, that was a illegal hit. I'm not really hating on him for that one. But this fan base has been through this enough recently. We don't need this again, right? We don't need another player that can't stay on the field to the point where it's almost a meme, right? We went through this with Jamal Adams. We went through this with Rashad Penny. We don't need another glass man. And whether or not it's valid, whether or not it's fair to do so, the fan base of this team is going to have a strong reaction to seeing something like this. We don't need more of this, right? We've been through enough with talented players that can't stay on the field for more than a few games at a time. In this case, not even a few games at a time, not even a game. Can't even make it through a game without getting hurt again. So, it's bad news. And my understanding from a few things that I saw is that he's probably going to be out longer than 4 games, but it's not season ending. And that's the only good news here. That's the only good news here today. He'll be back. But when he gets back, what's he going to have? What's he going to be able to do? That's a little bit harder to tell. It could be a shot in the arm in December, right? If you get him back around December, you're making that playoff push through the last 5 games of the year. There is certainly a scenario where you get him back just in time to give you that extra boost you need to make that playoff push. But right now, this is bad. And I'm not going to try to spin it any other way. So, no Nwosu for the next 4 games. And after that 4-game stretch, by the way, we have our bye week. Maybe he makes it back after the bye week. I don't know if I'm expecting that right now. So, in Nwosu's absence, I'm going to be leaning on Boye Mafe. Going to be leaning on Derek Hall. Going to be leaning on Draymond Jones. Might be looking at experimenting with some other stuff as well. You might see more Leonard Williams playing edge. You might see more Byron Murphy playing edge. Mike Morris, maybe this is an opportunity for him to step up. One theory that has been batted around by a few different people. We got this tweet from Curtis Allen here, and I know Rob Stanton's talked about this a little bit. Plenty of people in my Discord have brought this up, and it is, in theory, a good idea. You give Carolina a call. You give the Carolina Panthers a call about our old friend and Mike McDonald's old friend, Jadeveon Clowney. And that would get my gusto back very quickly. He'd be very cheap in a trade. His remaining cap hit the rest of the season is very low. It's not going to cost you a lot of money. It's not going to cost you a big hit of draft picks. And look, Carolina is a really bad team. They are one of the worst teams in the league. They would love to pick up an asset and save a little bit of money for a player that is clearly not going to help them right now. So that might be the call that I'm making right now if I'm Seattle. If you want to go after somebody like a Khalil Mack, maybe you could make something happen there. I don't think the finances would be very friendly there, but you got to at least think about it. Do you call up somebody like a Carlos Dunlap and hope he has a little bit left in the tank? Do you go after somebody like somebody who maybe recently retired, see if they're still in good enough shape to come up? Whoever you get is going to have to be ready to go quickly, right? You're not going to be able to call somebody up and then say, hey, you got a month to get ready. No, you don't have a month. but it feels like something may happen here because Mafe is already battling through his own stuff right now. We don't even know if we're going to have him on Thursday, and there's no way this team can survive without Nwosu or Mafe. Like, we saw it on against the Giants to an extent, what it's like without both of those guys against an even mildly competent offense. It's not good enough. So something may happen. Something probably needs to happen. For now, because we have a game in a couple of days here, I think you're going to see something very simple, like Jamie Sheriff elevated from the practice squad to replace Nwosu. And then we'll try to figure things out after Thursday. We have a little bit of an extended day time off after the Thursday game to figure it out. But look for somebody like Sheriff to get the elevation. And we're just going to have to live with a little bit of Trevis Gibson and a little bit of Jamie Sheriff for at least one game. So, not much of a silver lining to any of that. I will say, if it leads to us reacquiring somebody like a Jadeveon Clowney, that's a silver lining because I love Clowney. A lot of you guys love Clowney. Very fun player, very good player. And if that's where this ends up, then it's going to be hard for me to be that upset about it. But right now, stuff just, it stinks. And it makes you wonder about Uchenna Nwosu's long-term viability. Remember, his extension just kicked in this season. We extended him for 3 years last year with the 1 year left on his deal. So there's not necessarily an easy way out of that contract anytime soon. Maybe next year, but right now, that's just you hope he can get better. You hope he can turn it around. That's really all you can say because there's no moving off of Nwosu immediately. Now, we are not the only team dealing with this kind of problem, and in fact, you can make a pretty decent argument that those boys over in San Francisco who were playing on Thursday are, excuse me, mirroring us a little bit. We got this from the Niners earlier today. Talanoa Hufanga, who just made his way back from one injury, is already hurt again and is expected to go on injured reserve himself with torn ligaments in his wrist. So they are matching us blow for blow over in San Fran. Hufanga, one of their best defensive players, he missed several games. He missed some serious time with the one injury. What was it? Did he tear the Achilles or tear the ACL? It was a big injury. Now he's back. Everybody was happy. Now everybody's not happy because, well, he's going to miss some time. And he's going to miss at least this upcoming game. And maybe he'll miss the game the next time we play the Niners. We'll see. But misery loves company, I guess. And right now, both teams are pretty unhappy with the way things are going. More on injury stuff later when we get the full practice report from the Seahawks. We already have it from the Niners. I'll save that for the next video. But yeah, this is not what we needed. This is not what we wanted. And I know the people in San Fran are saying the same thing. So once again, Uchenna Nwosu going to injured reserve with a thigh injury, going to be missed at least 4 games, likely more. Hopefully we get him back around December and he shoots out of a cannon ready to help this team make that playoff push. But right now, we just got to hold on to hope because the level of talent we have at that edge room right now is not what we were expecting to get this year. All right, go Hawks.